Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Valley's most in-depth weather forecast video, Weather for Weather Geeks. Once again from my home office. This evening I'm kind of minimizing my time at the station as much as possible. Of course, we need to be there to be on TV, but as much as I can do from home, I'm going to do from home for the time being. And again, just trying to be the best social distancer I could possibly be. It was a nice day to get some fresh air again today. 66 this afternoon. That was our forecast after a couple of busts earlier this week. It was nice to nail a forecast today. Mid 60s today, and for the month so far, 6 degrees warmer than the average. We've had 4, 5, 6, 7 cooler than average days, 18 warmer than average days, and 1 day at exactly average back on March the 7th. So much like the last several months, with the exception of November, March 2020 has turned out to be quite a balmy month across the valley. All right, and this is the week we're talking all about severe weather. It's Severe Weather Awareness Week in the state of Ohio. Last evening on ericwfmj.com, that's my weather blog, I did a long blog post covering most aspects of severe weather, some safety tips, some interesting facts, and I hope you'll check that out if you have not done so so far. This evening's topic is going to be lightning. One of the most dangerous parts of severe weather is indeed lightning, and here's a list of the activities with the most lightning fatalities going back about 15 years. Fishing, number one, and a lot of these have to do with being on or near water. Fishing, being at the beach, boating as well. And so anytime you're at the lake or doing anything near the water, if you can hear thunder, you are close enough to a thunderstorm to be struck by lightning. So even though it may seem kind of distant, your first hint that it's time to seek shelter is hearing that thunder. And I was, this list always kind of surprises me a little bit that golf is so far down on the list, but it is a little farther down than some other activities, such as even just walking. But it's also interesting the breakdown by sex of the fatalities. Maybe not super surprising, but it's interesting nonetheless that let me find this. There we go. That's 80% of the fatalities are men. Only 20% are women. So lightning, very dangerous, and something that we definitely want to warn you about when the time comes, especially as we head into the spring and the summer. All right, as of 7:13 this evening, we do have some showers starting to push in. Now, some of this isn't quite reaching the ground just yet, but the atmosphere is going to moisten up pretty quickly this evening, leading to some rounds of showers as we head through the next several hours. There was some lightning and thunder earlier on out towards Lima. That has faded away. Maybe one positive voltage strike, kind of a bolt out of the blue, if you will, down between Wilmington and Cincinnati this evening. But yeah, bottom line for us tonight is we're not expecting much heavy rain tonight, but showers will come and go. The higher threat for some gusty thunderstorms, even a lower end risk of severe weather, will extend from the lower Ohio Valley back towards St. Louis, Kansas City, and Wichita. Same area tomorrow. This is the day 2 severe weather outlook from the Storm Prediction Center. Kind of a similar area. Southern Ohio, Central Ohio, and points west in the low end, kind of 1 out of 5 risk for severe weather for Friday and Friday night. Then as we fast forward to day 3, which is Saturday, that low end risk sneaks a little bit farther to the east, catching a lot of east central Ohio, somewhat more elevated risk of strong to severe thunderstorms out towards St. Louis, Springfield, Chicago, Indianapolis, up towards South Bend, and then heading down into the lower Mississippi Valley as well. Not real concerned about severe weather around here, although heavy rain may be a small issue, and we'll talk a little bit about that coming up here momentarily. In the meantime, our front pushes through tonight with showers, but the timing on these is pretty good. They'll be gone by daybreak tomorrow at the latest, maybe a little mist or drizzle very, very early in the day, but I think the sun's going to try to come out from north to south tomorrow afternoon. Now, there might be a pretty tight temperature gradient across the region tomorrow. We may be hard-pressed to get out of the 40s up towards Ashtabula, Erie, over into Lake County as well, near Lake Erie, with the wind coming in off that cold lake. But the farther south you are, the warmer it's going to be tomorrow. I think we'll approach 60 pretty easily, especially from 224 on south, where there won't be quite as much of a lake influence. Showers then push back in for Friday night. And I think Saturday can start with some scattered downpours, maybe some thunder and lightning with this Saturday morning. But this is not an all-day washout on Saturday. In fact, I think there'll be a drying trend as we get into the afternoon. And while we probably will not see much sun on Saturday, still this is a decent afternoon with mild temperatures. Then the big story on Sunday is going to be the increasing winds. Now, as far as any additional rain Sunday, I suspect it's confined mostly to the morning. The afternoon looking largely dry. We'll try to get into this dry slot out here, and in fact, the sun's probably going to come out. But the more the sun comes out, the better mixing of the atmosphere that will occur. And I do think that the wind is going to get very frisky as we get into the second half of the day on Sunday. Until that point, some streams, creeks may run a little bit high, especially Saturday morning, some localized downpours and rainfall totals through Saturday night and daybreak on Sunday could run over an inch in parts of the valley, maybe even close to an inch and a half. This is not going to be enough to cause widespread flooding problems, I don't think, but there may be some streams and creeks, kind of the usual suspects, if you will, that may run a little bit high, and we could have some localized flood warnings. Eagle Creek in southwestern Trumbull County could be one of those spots. All right, the wind, perhaps gusting to 40, perhaps even 50 miles per hour. Sunday afternoon, the wind will diminish fairly quickly then for Sunday night. This is something we haven't seen in a while. The medium range is looking cooler. I've been hinting about this on some editions of Weather for Weather Geeks lately, but as we flip the calendar into April, this is not a very mild looking pattern. In fact, the Climate Prediction Center does have a bullseye of blue east of the Mississippi, including for parts of our area, with decent odds of a cooler than average stretch here in the 6 to 10 day outlook, and then looking forward to the 8 to 14 day outlook, a pretty similar looking map. So, we're going to have, it looks like to open April, a lot of high temperatures in the upper 40s and lower 50s, either right at average or somewhat below average. Of course, those averages rise quickly at this time of the year, but I don't see a lot of 60s coming our way early in April, at least through the first handful of days, unlike here in March, where we've had a handful of days with highs in the 60s, including today, and we'll make a run at 60 on Friday as well, and I think we'll be close to 60 Saturday and probably into the mid-60s on Sunday before that cooler regime sets in. All right, that'll do it for me tonight on the Thursday evening edition of Weather for Weather Geeks. More updates on the weekend forecast coming your way on social media, 21 News, and the Storm Tracker 21 app.